Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so I thought it's about time I came back to life and got something back onto the air. So as you probably know, if you've seen any other films that I've made in the past, I'm quite into sort of radios, comms, keeping comms bags, everyday carry kit bags and all those sort of things sort of in the car. Always very useful. You never know when you're going to need things, and if you have surplus of gear like I do, then rather than just sitting in the shack doing nothing, you might as well put it in a car where it could be of some use. So that's pretty much what I've done here, and it's what I've done on all the other kit bags which I've showed you before. So we've got two cars in our family. The other half has got a car that we tend to use for long trips, holidays, visiting families sort of around the country. My car, which is the CRV, that's the one I tend to use for my radio hobby and getting me to and back from work. And it occurred to me the other day when we was out and about, we were on the motorway and towards midnight, and there's just traffic jams, roadworks, absolutely horrendous. We just weren't moving for hours. It took us absolutely hours to get home, when normally it's a 45-minute journey. And it occurred to me kind of like how ill-equipped we were in the main family car, that we didn't have gear with us that we needed. So we're talking like, you know, something to eat, something to drink, medication, headache tablets, painkillers, little basic first aid kit and stuff, torch, comms, all those sort of things. Not really always needed necessarily, but it made me think, you know, if we'd been out in my car, then it wouldn't have been an issue. We've got everything in there, but in the family car, the main car, then there was nothing. So I went rooting through my old cupboard at home, and I found one of my old work bags, which I thought this will be absolutely ideal to use. And I've got spare radio gear, chargers, leads, and various bits and bobs, kind of surplus anyway. So, like I said, stick them all together into the car, or into the bag, throw it into the car, and you've always got it if you need it. So this is going to be a quick overview of what that is. So first of all, it's not a particularly well-known make. Top Max, I don't know, it's just a cheap one off the market, I think. It's not particularly brilliant, but it doesn't have to be waterproof. It doesn't have to be that strong or rugged, because it's going to be kept in the boot of the car anyway. So to open it up, to begin with, we have the main compartment on the top, and in here I just keep some basic supplies. So I keep in a Bofeng radio, my UV5Rs. Love these radios to bits. I've done plenty of videos on these. I've explained in those videos why I like these so much. I've got about 6 or 7 of these radios, and to be honest, I mean, look at this one. It's even still got the little protection thing on. It's been programmed but hardly ever used, so I thought might as well keep it in here. So that's the first thing. Let's put that there. Okay, so, and also the old 777s, again the Bofeng 16 channel. This has been programmed to do PMR, general business radio frequencies, and 1 or 2 other frequencies that I tend to use. Again, all of these frequencies are also programmed into the UV5R. So for hand-to-hand communication, person-to-person, absolutely spot on. To help me with the UV5R, it's a dummy battery which just plugs into the cigarette lighter to power it should I need it. But also, in the left-hand side part of this bag, I keep in the desktop drop-in charger for the 5R. And this is a lead that will enable me to charge up from a cigarette lighter via an adapter, because this is a USB. So that will power that up if I need to. Also, I'll come back to that later. If I want to charge it from the mains, I've got an adapter for USB to mains. And then, not forgetting also a drop-in charger for the 777. Again, this is a USB plug, so nice and easy to charge. Our car's got quite a few sort of outlets for power and USB chargers anyway, so these will easily power from the car. But should there be a problem with that, a spare battery power bank. This has got 2 USB outputs. It's a Chinese one, very cheap. It says it's 50,000 milliamp hour battery, but there's no way that's going to be that. What I do know is that I've managed to charge up my iPhone about twice using this. So that's sufficient enough for anything I'm ever going to need. So looking in, we've got a few of these. Again, I don't really know why I put these in the kit bag. I can't ever think of a reason why I'd need one of these. It's the earpiece and microphone for these radios. But, you know, every time you buy one of these radios, they come with these. And I've got that many of them. I thought, you know what, let's just stick them in. Why not? You just never know. So also, again, this is all about surplus requirements, isn't it? It's about sort of utilising what you've already got. So this is an old phone. It's an old Nokia. I think this is the 3210 version, although this particular one, I think it's a foreign one. But it's all unlocked to any network. So pay-as-you-go SIM card in there. That can be that's fully charged now, but I've got a house charger for that phone. Also, I've got one for the USB charger as well. So that will be able to power and keep that going. Got myself a spare mini USB lead. That again will charge up spare phones and the portable power bank. A couple of bin liners rolled up, you just never know. That's that side one done. Okay, and then on the right hand side, this is where I tend to keep things like bottles of water, surplus, some pocket tissues there, little spoon and fork, and some little snacks here, these little go-ahead crispy slices. Just to keep you going if you're stuck on the motorway. I've got a few more things that I want to put in here, sort of food-wise, to keep you going if you're on a long journey and you do get stuck on the motorway or something. To have a couple of bars of chocolates, some chewing gum, some mints, and these little biscuit things, and other crackers are very useful. They last a lifetime in the bag. Don't have to worry about sell-by date on them really. And, you know, if you're hungry, these are quite filling. But it's not just the hunger, it's the fact of having something just to keep your energy and your spirits up. So, all very useful. And then I have a bandana in the front, which is something I've had for many years. I've got a couple of those. And again, this one's doing nothing in the shack, so I thought, why not just put it into the bag? So that's the main compartments of the bag. On the left-hand side, little side compartment. In here, I keep a single cell LED torch and a headlight torch. This is a fairly cheap one. I don't think it's particularly waterproof. However, that's not necessarily going to be a big problem. This one is fairly sort of weatherproof. This one can be used sort of outside in the rain and it won't come to any harm. So if I need one outside, then that's absolutely fine. Those are just spare torches I've had from either work or from you know, various purchases I've made over the years. This other side, very important for me, insect repellent spray. I seem to get affected quite badly from bites, and it doesn't take much for me to have to end up in A&E with bites, especially horseflies. Within minutes I'll just flare up and take a bad reaction. So prevention is always a good idea. So again, that's just a spare one, and it's something I keep in my car, and now it means we've got something in the main family car as well for those day outs. Moving to the front panel, the front compartment, I keep a little pack of tablets in here. So in here we've got things for water purification, we've got paracetamol, ibuprofen, we've got quite strong cocodamol tablets for pain relief. A small little pouch with some basic rubber gloves, medical kits, plasters, respirator, stuff like that. And then also I have a few spare packets of batteries. So these batteries will power both the torches that I use. Again, for charging inside a house, if I want to charge any USB devices, this spare plug. A spare lead, I'm not really sure why that's in here. So that's a duplication of another lead I have there. And then a few spare pens and bits and bobs in here. So this is something that I've just kind of put together over the last sort of few days. You know, these are the sort of kits that you put together and then you end up by changing them around and sort of adding and taking things away. And that's the whole idea of these bags, isn't it? You have a bag that's sort of got the stuff in that you need. You know, you can look onto YouTube and see other people's videos and you get ideas, but ultimately what they put in their bag's not necessarily relevant to what I need to put in mine. So I put stuff in here that I figured would be useful for me for the journeys that we do and for the outings that we go on. So that's what it's all about. So those radios are fully charged, and it's a good idea every kind of month really, just to open up your bag and just check it all out. Just make sure everything's in there that you want. You'll get ideas of things to replace, and just make sure things are working properly. For comms, I think we're pretty much sorted on those. But that's not to say that I'm not going to change my mind in a few weeks or a month's time, add something or replace something. But like I say, these radios I've got a lot of now, and you know, rather than just having them do nothing inside the house, I might as well put them into a bag where at least you've got them if you need them. It's not often that you do, but there you go. It's one of those things. Certainly, there's other things in the car, you know, like Macs and spare boots and stuff if we have to sort of get out of the car and walk any distance. Waterproof coats, ponchos and you know, jumpers, those sort of things. This is just the sort of thing that you can just grab from one car, throw it into another, should you need to. But that's basically it. It's not heavy at all, it's nice and light. Like I say, this isn't a bug out bag. This isn't the sort of thing that you're going to be taking in, you know, sort of throwing around your shoulder if the worst comes to the worst. It is literally something that's just dumped into the boot. So this sort of quality bag is absolutely fine. And there you go. So just thought I'd give you a quick overview of what we have here. Any suggestions or ideas from anyone, I'm welcome to hear anything. It's always good to hear and to get the feedback from you guys and see what your thoughts are. It reminds me actually, I have. For longer range communications, this antenna is a dual band. This will screw onto either of those radios I've shown you, just in case we want to increase the range at all. Yes, I thought I had one of those in there somewhere. But it's all good stuff to have. So, you know what, if you're going to have spare kit in the house doing nothing, why not just utilise it? Keep it in a bag. You never know when it might be useful. Okay, right, thanks for watching then guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.